Hey everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and today we've got the pleasure of watching Commander Cam from, I believe, the North American server, playing in the one, the only, it's the tier 10 German super heavy and the heaviest tank in the game. It's the mouse. Now why am I featuring the mouse today? Well, I'm featuring the mouse because it's currently top of the tree on the European server. Wargaming have done something quite extreme with the top of the tree as they brought it back in 2019. Now, for example, if you play 5 battles in the mouse, you can earn yourself 2 hours of 300% extra crew experience. That's gigantic, for example. That's the best crew experience booster you can get your hands on. And the idea that this is repeatable, I guess you could play for the entire month with 300% crew experience if you were able to earn them in the mouse. Other things that you have to look forward to are being able to earn a load of consumables if you play in the Moisian. If you manage to push through, you can get vertical stabilizer for doing 200,000 damage, albeit that's a lot of damage to be able to achieve in World of Tanks. All in all, really, Wargaming have revamped their top of the tree. There's opportunities to just get 5,000 extra experience if you have any of these vehicles stock as well. And so there's no better time really to talk about the mouse. Now the mouse, you know, it's been up and down in World of Tanks. It's had periods where it's been awful, then they buffed the armor of its cheeks and its lower plate, then it became okay, and then everything else got a bit better, and then Wargaming decided to just go crazy and give it an amazing gun with incredible damage per minute, and then they kind of dialed the DPM back a little bit, lowered the hit points from a ridiculous 3,200 down to 3,000, and it's kind of in a good spot right now. I feel like when you get in the mouse into a good matchup like this, you know that something magical is going to happen. I mean, let's be honest, you're in +2 matchmaking, you're on Runeberg, you're in the mouse, you're against an AMX 50B, which, while it's a dangerous auto-loading heavy tank, if you can try and control the engagement, like Commander Cam is doing here against the 50B, you're going to be putting your team ahead. And now, apart from the TVP on the enemy team, it's looking like it's good days for the mouse. Now, I believe that Commander Cam was probably incredibly excited to get into this matchup as well, because it looks like he's trying to do Heavy Tank 12. It looks like it's for the T55A. That is not an easy mission by any stretch. I believe I actually didn't do this one in the mouse. I think I dropped down to use a T29, which obviously has an amazing turret, and not nearly as many hit points. So the fact that Commander Cam is actually going to be trying to block 9,000 damage, 3 times the hit points of the mouse to be able to complete this mission, well, it's going to be quite an impressive achievement if you manage to get through this one. So as I was mentioning, I managed to do Heavy Tank 12 in the T29. I even kind of min-maxed the tank by using the stock turret to lower the hit points just a little bit more, so it only had 1,150 hit points, and then I used the 90mm gun, and I think I just loaded full gold on the tank. Yeah, you gotta really try and think through the missions and use everything that you can to your advantage. But Commander Cam seems to be wanting to do this one with raw power. Alright, so not content with taking out one tier 10 auto-loading vehicle on the enemy team, it looks like Commander Cam is about to vanquish his second, finishing off the TVP, who was loading full gold rounds there to be able to see if he could contest the mouse. And you really do, to be honest. When you're driving a TVP, that's got one of the lowest penetrations of any tier 10 medium tank, 248, and even the premium rounds on that vehicle, I believe, have about 300 or 310 millimeters of penetration. And so even those are going to struggle to go through the front of a mouse reliably, as we can see with 2 out of 4 bouncing off the vehicle. Alright, so Commander Cam, having shut down both of the enemy's top tier heavy and medium tanks, only really has to worry about the WZ-1321. And even though Commander Cam is up to 4,300 damage now and 3 kills, he's starting to find himself in a little bit of a tricky situation. He's pushing through into the open, and this is where you really don't want to be in the mouse, because you want to try and keep your sides covered, because while they are still very thick, they are very flat. And even in great matchmaking like this for the mouse, the enemies are still going to be able to contest the sides of your tank. You want to try and stay on corners, you want to stay in, try and stay down narrow alleyways. You don't want to end up in a big wide open area where the artillery are going to be slamming shells at you, tanks are going to be locking you down, and to all intents and purposes, you might have a WZ-1321 that might try and start to sling heat rounds at the front of your turret. Now, luckily for Commander Cam, it doesn't actually look like the WZ-1321 is there, and it's the WZ-132, the Tier 8, not the Tier 10 Chinese light tank that's trying to engage to the front of the mouse. And all that WZ-132 is really doing right now is getting Commander Cam closer and closer to the magic goal of 9,000 damage blocked. Over halfway there, Commander Cam, with the damage to spare, double the damage that you needed to do for the T-55A. We're going to see if he's going to be able to sink this one down in this replay later on. Okay, so WZ-1321, the last tier 10 vehicle on the enemy team, has been spotted, putting pressure on an auto-loading medium tank on Commander Command's team in the form of the T-54E1. Alright, the Scorpion shaves off a big slug of the mouse's hit points, but with a ricochet of the WZ-1321, who manages to finish off the T-54E1 on Commander Cam's team, it means that he momentarily found himself in a 1 versus 6 situation before he managed to shut down that dastardly Tier 8 German tank destroyer. And it's at this stage of the game where I really feel that Commander Cam finds himself between a rock and a hard place. You know, you're flanked from both sides, and that's where you don't want to be in the mouse. If Commander Cam spent any longer in that alleyway, all that was going to happen is the WZ-132 and the Object 430 on the enemy team were going to pressure Commander Cam. So instead, he gets out the alleyway and he starts to make his way towards the AMX M4. 49 Liberté edition, and looks like that Liberté knows how to play, as they've got 3 marks of excellence on their gun barrel, giving the mouse a complete runaround. However, with a quick dab of the 5 key, Commander Cam removes the stun from the enemy artillery, but unfortunately he now finds himself ammo-racked and completely surrounded by the enemy team. How is he going to get out of this one? Well, that's a blooming good start. A round right through the upper hull there of the Tier 8 French premium heavy tank. But look, this pesky WZ-132 that was doing nothing to the front of Commander Cam's tank has now found himself in the best position that you can be, and that is right behind the mouse, where its armor is still thick, but it's incredibly flat. And even a WZ-132 firing standard rounds here are shaving off Commander Cam's hit points, who now tries to use his butt to push away the pesky Tier 8 Chinese light tank. Alright, that WZ not quite managing to have success anymore with the first couple of shells that he fired. Is he going to be able to go through here? And it looks like Commander Cam is angling the back of his tank the perfect moves in the mouse. It's a big boxy vehicle, but if you can manage to angle it, things go well. And talk about going well, it looks like Commander Cam lurches the vehicle around to finally deal with the pesky menace that is behind him in the form of this Tier 8 Chinese light tank. But look, the WZ-132, definitely not a terrible driver here, managing to escape again, but looks like he's got bored of bouncing standard rounds off the back of Commander Cam, because now fires a high explosive round that ricochets off the German armor. Alright, Commander Cam thinking about engaging the Object 430, who is also firing high explosive rounds at the mouse, but now Commander Cam backs himself up into a defensive location. Should be hard for the enemy artillery to engage him here, and all it's going to take is one more shot at that Tier 9 Soviet medium tank, and he's going to be able to change his 1 versus 6 situation into a 1 versus 2. Now the artillery is inside the cap circle. Commander Cam actually bounces? That's amazing. Bounces a Tier 8 self-propelled gun shell there right off the side of the vehicle. And that's what the mouse can do, especially if it's using a super heavy spore liner, just literally bouncing the very class that's really meant to counter these large steel behemoths. Alright, so Commander Cam clearly knows that the WZ-132 is inside the cap circle, but races, although kind of maybe lurches towards the 430 to see if he can get towards him, slowly pushing the wreck of the heavy tank that was made earlier out of the way, but doesn't quite manage to do so. So the 430 gives him the slip, and clearly the 430 wants to get Commander Cam back in a crossfire. Okay, 1 minute and 2 seconds left. Now the mouse, with a top speed limit of 20 kilometers an hour, it's going to take him a little while to get down that 300 meter street. But whoa, misplay there by the 430, exposing his side armor. And so with that shutdown and also a ricochet, Commander Cam has now all but completed the primary conditions of Heavy Tank 12. Well, he actually has. All he has to do now is to win the battle to be able to achieve one of the most tricky missions to do in the first set of standard. Alright, so the WZ-132 bounces actually, I think, a high explosive round. No, it splashes a high explosive round there towards Commander Cam, along with the 430, who bounced the AP round that pushed him over the mission. But looks like Commander Cam is not taking any risks here. But because he's gone around this corner so slowly, the WZ-132 has clearly left the cap circle and made his way around over here. So what is the WZ-132 going to be thinking right now? Well, clearly the WZ-132 is going to be making his way along the streets over here. Now, what should Commander Cam do? Well, if he kind of situates himself in this location, he can stop the WZ from running out that way, and he can also lock him down on these streets. streets. But remember, Chinese light tanks have good camo rating, but the WZ-132 makes a massive misplay there by actually firing a high explosive round. And remember, when you fire, you dump 80% of your camo rating. And when you dump 80% of your camo rating, even if you're in a light tank, a vehicle like the Mouse is going to be spotting you at max range, and that allows Commander Cam to pick up 9,000 damage, 9,000 damage blocked, and a 9th kill to boot, and a completion with honors of Heavy Tank 12. I bet you that was a relief to get out the way. So a suitably monster result for a monster game. A Radley Walters medal for the 9 kills, a Collar Banos medal, the one that everybody wants for standing alone against at least 5, in this case 6, a Spartan's medal for ricocheting with your armor with less than 10% of your hit points remaining, and boy, what a Steel War medal. That would have been enough to kill the Mouse 3 times over, and the high caliber again for that 9,000 damage. 1,497 base is amazing. The only thing I hated about this replay is the fact that Commander Cam spammed premium rounds inside a +2 matchup, very unnecessarily against quite a few of the targets. But you know what, I guess results sometimes speak louder than words, and do you think Commander Cam really cares about losing 40,000 credits when he gets to complete Heavy Tank 12 and smash a fantastic result for the heaviest vehicle in the game? So Commander Cam, congratulations to you. Well done for getting yourself out from being between a rock and a hard place. And thank you so much for uploading your replay on the WOT Replays website and putting my name in the title to be able to get my attention. And I hope all of you out there enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. But if you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And if you're watching it as it's released on Sunday, it's time for another World of Tanks Tech Tree Showcase on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby. And this week, considering that the Mouse is top of the tree on the European server, yeah, I think this one's going to be a popular one. I'm going to be playing my way towards it along the German, rather super heavy, but definitely cumbersome tech tree. So you can see if it's a line that's worth grinding this month, or alternatively, if you already have the vehicles, maybe pick a few tips and tricks up along the way. So I'm really looking forward to seeing as many of you as possible on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby right now. And I guess I should also give you an update about the mission marathon. I am still doing it, Kevin. I'm going to smash my way through it. I'm about to complete stage 8. I have stage 9 and 10 to do, and I still got Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to be able to do it. So I'm probably going to be ending up putting in a 10-hour session tomorrow. But Kevin, mark my words, there will be a tier 8 premium French wheeled light tank on my free-to-play account. Anyway, I'll probably be playing a little bit more of it later on today, because I might be going a little bit crazy, as you all have probably seen if you've been watching my streams recently, but we're so close. We're so close to being there. It's going to be fantastic when I finally get it. Anyway, come along right now on my stream. Hopefully I'll see you soon.